Hi friends, welcome to Yogaguru Maths Theory Lectures. We have theory and practical separate videos for them. In theory we cover the concepts and in practical we solve the examples. So both this theory and practical are useful for CBSE, ICSE, various state boards across India and outside India as well. So anyone who wants to deal in English in maths needs to download this app. So let's focus. Introduction to Euclid's geometry. Now see, the focus of this chapter would be Euclid's definitions, axioms and postulates. These three only, or postulates, these three only. So basically what are axioms or postulates? Okay, axioms or postulates are assumptions which are obvious universal truth. They are not proved. Now this is something which we need to understand. They are not proved. They are taken that they are true. Many postulates are used for especially geometry and axioms are used especially algebra. Okay, postulates geometry, axioms algebra. A for A. Can I remember this thing clearly? Axiom for algebra. Okay, theorems. Now if axioms and postulates are taken as true, they are not proved, then theorems are statements which are proved using definitions, axioms, previously proven statements and deductive reasoning. Means basically theorems are proved. How they are proved? They are proved using various things, like these axioms which we take as true. We use them to prove this theorem. Okay, but remember two basic things: axioms and postulates not to be proved, they are taken as true. Theorems, they are to be proved, like Pythagoras theorem, it is to be proved. Now Euclid's definitions, axioms or postulates. Let's see. These are, first we will be studying this definitions. A point is that which has no part, means a point cannot be divided further. A line is a breadthless length, right? Suppose if I ask you what is the breadth of a line, means you draw a line and what is the breadth, you can't say anything. The ends of a line are points, right? Any line which ends, for that matter here it will be segment. Any segment which ends, it ends in 2 points only, right? 1 point here and 1 point here. Okay, a straight line is a line which lies evenly within the points on itself. Means what? Evenly means what? If you draw a line and take a center and check both the sides of the center, you will find both are equal. That's why it's called as even. A surface is that which has length and breadth only, right? Paper is a surface, it has only length and breadth, no width, right? The edge of a surface are lines, like same example, paper, edges are what? Length and breadth, so these are lines. A plane surface is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines on itself. Again the same as the definition of line. So evenly, it is a surface which lies evenly with the straight lines. Means with the straight line means the two straight lines at the end, on this side and then on this side, like this. Okay, so there it lies evenly, means if you draw a center and then you measure either of the two sides, then you will always see the surface is evenly distributed, right? Now few undefined terms. See, this chapter you just try to remember. There is nothing maths involved in it, not much maths actually. There are some terms like point, etc., which have no definitions. Means how do you define a point? No definition, which has no part. Means this is not an actual definition, but it's given Euclid's definition, but then also it has actually, a point has no definition. These terms are called as undefined terms. In geometry, a point, line and a plane. In Euclid's words, a plane surface are undefined terms. Now Euclid's axioms. Things which are equal to same thing are equal to one another. Means if A is equal to B and B is equal to C, then A is equal to C. If equals are added to equals, then the wholes are equal. Means what? If A equals to C, B equals to D, and if you add A plus B and then C plus D, then the total would be same. See here, all these we have explained it in our practical videos. There with examples, with visuals, everything we have explained. Here just you imagine what A, B, take only these four terms A, B, C, D and go on doing it. So equals are added. A equals to C, B equals to D. So add A plus B and that will be equal to C plus D. If equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Same A, B, C, D example. Things which coincide with one another are equal to one another, right? Means if you take two pages of same size and put them on each other and they exactly match on one another, then they are equal to one another, right? The whole is always greater than the part, right? Simple. Suppose if you add 1 plus 1 plus 1 3 times, okay, so whole is what? 1 plus 1 plus 1 3. So 3 is the whole, WHOLE, and part is what? 1 1 and 1. So definitely 3 will be greater than any of these 1. Or take for example 1 plus 2 plus 3. What is the answer? 6. So 6 will definitely be greater than any of these three parts, 3, 2 and 1, right? Things which are double of the same things are equal to one another. Means what? Suppose if you take 2, okay, and double of that, so 4. So if you double it 2 times and then 1 times 4 and another time 4, so both 4 would be equal only, right? Because they are the double of the same thing. So that's why if they are double of the same thing, then they are equal to one another. Things which are halves of the same thing are equal to one another. Same logic. If you take 10, make half, then it becomes what? 5. Take again the same 10 you take, again make half, 5. So 2 times you have made half of same number. Now this 5 and this 5, are they different? No, they are same, because they are the half of the same thing. Okay. Now the 5 postulates of Euclid's. Let's study one by one. Postulate number 1. A straight line may be drawn from any point to any other point. Means what? If I take this point A and any other point A, point B, here, anywhere, I can draw a line. What does it mean? In other words, the axiom is given two distinct points, there is a unique line that passes through them. So if this point is A over here, this point B may be anywhere on the plane, on the plane, that's important, on the same plane. Then you can draw definitely a straight line between this point A and that point B, right? Next, postulate 2. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Means what? See this, AB is a segment. Now this segment can be produced indefinitely. If I start drawing this line on this side and on this side, where can I end? There is no end. I can go up to infinity. Euclid's terminated line is called a segment, line segment. So according to the present day terms, a line segment can be extended on either side to form a line, right? You can see from the figure itself. Only if you don't take the arrows, only if you take this dark line, it's a segment AB. But if you add these arrows on both sides, it becomes line AB, right? Postulate number 3. A circle can be drawn with any center and any radius, right? It's quite simple. Any center means I can take anywhere the points, anywhere on this plane, right? And any radius means any length. Just take the compass, put one point over here, other point on the radius I want length, and start drawing. I can definitely draw. So a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Next, all right angles are equal to one another. Okay, all right angles are equal to one another means if this is 90 degree and this is also right angle 90 degree, so definitely they will be equal, right? You draw any right angle over here anywhere, it will definitely be 90, because right angle means 90 degrees, right? That's why all right angles are equal to one another. Many of you might be thinking, what is this all stupidity and what is this basic? Even a 5th standard student can know now that what all right angles are equal and all these things. But remember, Euclid lived in which century? He lived 300 BCE. BCE means before Christ, almost 2300 years ago. At that time, there was no geometry, no computer, nothing. How people might have learned at that time, and that's why these postulates, these axioms were a great achievement at that time. Similarly, you read the Indian Vedas. There you will find some huge storm, huge ocean of knowledge, where you will see everything without computers, without any electronic equipment. They found out everything. So that's why we are in a privileged age now, and people at that time were going through tough stages, right? Next, postulate number 5. If a straight line falling on two straight lines makes an interior angles on the same side of it taken together less than two right angles, then the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the sum of the angles is less than two right angles. Now this is difficult to digest. Let's get an example. See this figure. This AB is a line, CD is a line, and this line P falls on AB and CD. Falls means cuts, right? Now what is happening? This line, this PQ line cuts AB such that two interior angles 1 and 2 are formed such that 1 plus 2 is less than 180 degrees. Less than 180 degrees. Then what happens? If these two lines are produced further, like over here, which side will these two lines meet? This side or this side? Definitely this side. So that's the meaning of this postulate. If two lines are drawn and one line falls or cuts these two lines, forming is interior angles on the same side such that these two interior angles are less than, the total of these two interior angles is less than two right angles. Two right angles means, see this, two right angles means 180 degrees. Then if these two lines are produced further on both sides, they meet on that side where the interior angles are less than 180 degrees, means this side they will be meeting. That's the meaning of that postulate. Okay, understood it now? Next, now postulates are over. Two important points. Two distinct lines cannot have more than one point in common. See this, AB and CD. How many points can these two lines have in common? Suppose if you extend them, this is extended over here, this is extended over here, so it will cut somewhere and here it will be a common point. So only one common point they will have. Suppose if these two lines have two common points, one over here and one over let's say here. So how can this happen? This can happen if it meets here again. But how can it meet? When any line has more than one points in common, any two lines have more than one points in common, it means both the lines are same. Okay. Now another version of fifth postulate. See this, understand this better. For every line L and for every point P not lying on this line L, there exists a unique line M passing through P and parallel to L. Means what? See, we'll take this example only. Take this line as CD, this line L as line this CD, and every point P not lying on L, means there is one point P which is not lying on this CD. Let's say this is the point P. Then there exists a unique line M, let's say this AB, such passing through P and parallel to L, means we can draw this AB in such a way, turn it like this upside and passing through P, such that it will be parallel to this CD, like this you can draw it, right, so that it is parallel to CD. That's the meaning of this postulate, that a line L and an external point P, then you can always draw a line parallel to this line through this external point. Okay, there will be one line only, there won't be more than one line. Okay, so that was a theory for Euclid's geometry. Download Yuvaguru Maths Olympiad app from Play Store to get these videos, tests, question banks with explanations directly on your mobile. Get 500 plus questions with explanations and case studies on your PC. It's a separate paid version. Follow us on Facebook on this link. WhatsApp us on this number for any query related to purchases. Remember, these theory and practical videos both are separate and both are useful for CBSE, ICSE and various state boards across India and outside India as well. Anyone who deals in maths needs to download this Yuvaguru Maths Olympiad app. Okay, so keep studying, keep watching. Thanks.